Good morning, folks. Good morning, folks. It's your bro, Richie Rich here. Today in this video, I'm back with another car explanation video for all. Today in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about one of the greatest all-time. So today in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about one of the greatest all-time American supercars. So today in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about one of the greatest all-time greatest all-time American supercars. And today in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about the mighty Ford GT. So one of the greatest all-time American supercars ever. So before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Okay, so it's over 1 minute. So 60 seconds. So without any further ado, let's begin. So the Ford GT. Here we go. so the Ford GTs and the Ford GT is a mid-motor, so a mid-engine. So the Ford GT is a mid-engined two-seat sports car, well, supercar, both manufactured and marketed by both manufactured and marketed by American automobile manufacturer Ford for the 2005 model year, the year I was born, in conjunction with the company's 2003 centenary. The Gen 2 Ford GT became available. So the Gen 2 Ford GT became available for the 2017 model year. The GT recalls Ford's historic. So the GT. So the Gen 2 Ford GT became available for the 2017 model year. The GT recalls Ford's historically significant GT40. So the GT recalls Ford's historically significant GT40, a consecutive 4-time winner of the 24 Hours of Le Mans between 1966 and 1969, including a 1-2-3 finishing order in 1966. Overviews next, as always, so let's do it. Here we go. So manufacturer is obviously by FMC Ford Motor. So FMC Ford Motor Company. Production was between 2004 to 2006 and 2016 to 2022. Model years was between 2005 and 2006, and both 27 both both 20 both 20 so both 27 so 27 both 27 I can't even talk both 2017 and 2022. Body and chassis next. The class is a sports car. So it says sports car, but it's actually a supercar, part of the S segment. Part of the S segment. The class is a sports car, well, supercar, part of the S segment. Body style is a two-door coupe. Layout is a rear mid-engine rear-wheel drive. The chronology is next. The predecessor was the Ford GT40. So the Ford GT is a mid-motor two-seat supercar manufactured and marketed by American automobile manufacturer Ford for the 05 model year, in conjunction with the company's 03 centenary. The Gen 2 GT became available for the 2017 model year. The GT recalls Ford's historically significant GT40, a consecutive 4-time winner of the 24 Hours of Le Mans from 66 to 69, including a 1-2-3 finish in 1966. Alright, next up is the first gen, so the first gen Ford GT. So we got overview next, so let's do it. So production was between June 28th 2004 to September 30th, 2006, with only 4,038 produced. Model years is from 2005 and 2000. Model years is from 2005 and 2006. Assembly was at the Wixom. So assemblies are from the Wixom assembly plants for the interior. In Wixom, Oakland County, Michigan, located roughly 30 miles from downtown Detroit. So Wixom assembly plant. So Wixom assembly plant for the interior at Wixom, Oakland County, Michigan, located 30 miles roughly from downtown Detroit. Then we got the SSV Incorporated. So SSV Incorporated body paint facility in the city of Troy, Oakland County, Michigan, located 15 miles north of downtown Detroit. So that's for the SSV Incorporated body paint in Troy, Oakland County, Michigan. And then we got the Mayflower, the MVS, so the Mayflower Vehicle Systems production and assembly in the city of Norwalk. So Norwalk, Huron County, Ohio. Located about 10 miles south of Lake Erie, 51 miles southwest of Cleveland, 59 miles, 60 miles south of, so 59 miles southeast of Toledo, so Toledo, Ohio, and 58 miles west northwest of Akron, Ohio. So we got the Mayflower Vehicle Systems production and assembly in Norwalk, Ohio. Then we got the Ford Romeo. So the Ford Romeo engine plant for both. So the Ford Romeo engine plant for both the engine and transmission in the village of Romeo, Macomb or something like that, Macomb, Macomb County, Michigan. So in the village of Romeo, Macomb County, Michigan. I can't really pronounce that well. So that's at the Ford Romeo engine plant. So both for the engine and transmission in Romeo, Macomb County, Michigan. And the designer is Camilo Pardo. So Camilo Pardo, whatever you want to call it. So Camilo Pardo, Pardo, under J. Mays. So J. Mays. So his full name was J. Carroll Mays, who is a retired American industrial designer. who served as Group Vice President of Global Design and Chief Creative Officer at Ford Motor Company, and was Chief Design Officer at at Whirlpool Corporation, headquartered in Benton Charter Township, Berrien County, Michigan. Say as a Chief Design Officer at Whirlpool, first name is simply J, after his grandfather as J. Mays. So J. Carroll Mays, he was born in October 15th, 1954, age 70, from Paul's from the in the city of Paul's Valley, Garvin County, Garvin. I can't talk. Garvin County, Oklahoma. Say Garvin County, Oklahoma. Say Oklahoma. Say designer was uh Camilo Barato under J Mays. Next is body and chassis. Body style, two types you can choose from a two-door. Is either a coupe, or a Targa Top Roadster, or T-Top Roadster as they call it, known as the GTX-1. It's related to the Galpin Ford GTR-1. So known as the Galpin GTR-1, which looks pretty cool actually. It's not too bad. It looks pretty good. I might talk about that car one day. I don't know the Galpin, spelled Galpin, so Galpin Ford GTR-1. Powertrain is next. So starting off with the engine, it's a mighty 330 and 5.4 liter supercharged Ford modular V8 motor. Transmission was a Ricardo M7 00, so M7003 GT, a 6-speed manual. Dimensions is next. Wheelbase is 2710 millimeters, 106.7 inches in wheelbase. Length 4600 and 4640 millimeters, 182.8 inches in length. Ride up's nearly 183 inches, and for wheelbases, ride up's like 107. And so that's wheelbase and length then. Width 1950 millimeters, 76.9, well 77 inches if you ride up approximately for width. Height 1125 millimeters, say 1125 millimeters, 44.3 inches in height. Curb weight 3,485 pounds, 1,581 kilos. Okay, so let's do the first gen GT. Starting off with the first one, obviously, is from 2005 to 2006. Starting off with the first one the first part is the development. So your manufacturer FMC, production 0406, 1622, model years 0506, 1722, body chassis class sports car, S-segment, body style two-door coupe, layout urban engine rear-wheel drive, chronology predecessor Ford GT40. Alright, just checking where we left off to. Okay, so let's do the next one. So on the first gen Ford GT from 2005 to 2006. Let's do it. So starting off with the first one is the development. Here we go. so the GT became life So the GT became life as a concept car designed in anticipation of the automakers of the automakers of the automakers cent- of the automakers centennial year, and as part of its drive to both showcase and revive showcase and revive its heritage names, such as both Mustang and Thunderbird. As at the 2002 North American International Auto Show, or NIAS as it's shortened. So 2002 North American International Auto Show. Uh, Ford unveiled a new GT40 concept car. Camilo Pardo, the then head of Ford's Living Legends studio, is created. So the head of Ford Living Legends studio is credited as the chief designer of the GT and worked under the guidance of Jay Mays, Carroll Shelby, God rest his soul, the original designer of the Shelby GT40. Not Shelby, sorry, Shelby GT500. There we go. Don't think there's a thing as a Shelby GT40. I don't know. So the original designer of the Shelby GT500 Mustang was brought in by Ford to help develop the GT, which included performance testing of the prototype vehicle, the prototype car. While under development, the project was called Petunia. The GT's similar in outward appearance. Uh, it's an outward appearance to the original GT40, but it's bigger, wider, and most importantly, 4 inches taller, 4 inches taller than the original GT40, than the original 40 inches, than the original's 40-inch overall height. As a result, a potential name for the car was the GT44. Although the cars are visually related, structurally, there's no similarity between both the modern GT and the 60s GT40 that inspired it. After 6 weeks from the unveiling, after 6 weeks from the unveiling um, of the GT40 concept, Ford announced Ford announced a limited production run of the car. Three pre-production cars were shown to the public in 2003 as part of Ford's centenary celebrations, and delivery of the production version, called simply the Ford GT, began in the fall. So in the fall of 2004, or autumn 2004, as the GT was built as part of the company's 100th anniversary celebration. The left headlight cluster the left headlight cluster was designed to read 100, so to celebrate the 100th anniversary celebration. So to read 100. Next is naming difficulties. A British company, Sapphire Engineering, who built continuation GT40 cars in the 80s, owned the GT40 trademark at that time. When production of the continuation cars ended, they sold the excess parts, tooling, design, and trademark to a small Ohio-based company called Sapphire GT40 Spares. This company licensed the use of the GT40 trademark to Ford for the initial 2002 show car. When Ford decided to put the GT40 concept to production stage, negotiations between the two firms failed as Ford didn't pay the $40 million the owners um, of the name demand. Thus, the production cars are simply called the GT. Next, we got is production. The GT was produced for the 0506 model years. The car began assembly at the MVS Mayflower Vehicle Systems in Norwalk, Ohio, and was both painted and continued assembly at SSV Saline Special Vehicles facility in Troy, Michigan, though contract by Ford. The GT is powered by a motor built at Ford's Romeo Engine Plant, or REP, in Romeo, Michigan. Installation of both the motor and gearbox, along with seats and interior fishing, not fishing, sorry, seats and interior finishing was handled in the SVT building at Ford's Wixom, Michigan plant. So, so the seats and interior finishing was handled in the SVT building at Ford's Wixom, Michigan plant. For those who don't know what SVT stands for, SVT stands for Special Vehicle Team, which was a special tuning company. So it's known as SVT, which is an arm of Ford Motor Company, well FMC, responsible for the development of the company's highest performance vehicles. Established in 1991, SVT was a successor to the SVO, Special Vehicle Operations Division. So it's basically like they're like performance companies of these cars. So that's the production cars are simply called the GT. So we're on the production. So the GT was produced for the 0506 model years. The car began assembly at Mayflower Vehicle Systems, so MVS, in Norwalk, Ohio, and was painted and continued assembly at SSV Saline Special Vehicles facility in Troy, Michigan, through contracts by Ford. The GT is powered by a motor built. So the GT is powered by a motor built at Ford's Romeo Engine Plant in Romeo, Michigan. Installation of both the motor and gearbox, um, along with seats and interior finishing was handled in the SVT building at Ford's Wixom, Michigan plant. Of the 4.5 cars originally planned, approximately 100 were to be exported to Europe, starting in late 2005. An additional 200 cars were destined for sale in Canada. Production ended in September 2006 without reaching the planned production target. Approximately 550 cars, so 550 cars were built in 2004, nearly 1900 in 2005, and just over 1600 in 2006, for a grand total of 4,038 cars. The final 11 car bodies manufactured by MVS were disassembled, and both the frames and body panels were sold as service parts. The Wixom Assembly Plant, or WAP, has stopped production of all models as of May 31st, 2007. Sales of the GT continued into 2007, from cars held in storage and in dealer inventories. Next is the Heritage Edition. Ford produced a total of 350 if you round up, Heritage Editions, recognizable by the Gulf oil inspired recognized by the Gulf oil inspired livery. So light blue and orange. So recognizable by the Gulf oil inspired livery. The livery is in honor of the back-to-back wins of Ford at the 68 and 69 24 Hours of Le Mans by the Mark I GT40. Now we got the Ford GT US sales and world production totals for between 2004 and 2006. So we got it from 2005 to 2006 on the list. Starting off in 2005. In January they sold 7, February 4. Hold up.